Now, let me ask you this question. You want the mayor to continue to have control of the education system, but if Bloomberg were not running, wouldn't this be a non-issue? If it was another mayor coming in, wouldn't the legislature say, okay, we're gonna renew control for the mayor, and that's that?
You know, that's a great question, Dominic, and I think the answer to that is no. When we formed Learn New York, we formed it assuming the mayor was not running for a third term. This happened in August, and I had no indication at that time. I think the scuttlebutt around City Hall was that the mayor was not going to run for a third term, and I was terrified that we would end up with a system where the accountability is split again. And I said, look, we've got to have a way. I don't care who's the mayor. Right? I think this mayor really cares about education. But even if we got a mayor who didn't, I said we were going to bring so much heat on that person that they were going to have to take education serious. So I'm not convinced that this is a reaction to Bloomberg. I think this is a reaction in general to the fact of people thinking, and I think it's a right thought. Should one person have that much control? But this is what I would ask those same people. If you go outside and the potholes in New York aren't filled, well, who do you blame? If you go out and the streets are dirty, who do you blame? If we've got 1.2 million kids not getting an education, and how do we blame somebody else other than the mayor? When we're holding the mayor accountable for all the other essential services of the city, and this to me is an essential service. So I was worried no matter who was going to be mayor, that this issue might be diffused in a way that you wouldn't be able to get at accountability.
Now, you are the chair of the organization Learn NY, or Learn New York. 30 community organizations that support mayoral control of the education system. You already know what some critics say. And I have to be honest, this is a difficult question for me to ask because you have had such a commitment to school children where you don't have anything to gain. And it's not just me saying that you're an education expert. It's 60 Minutes that has profiled you several times. It's the New York Times. But anyway, critics say the reason why Geoffrey Canada and others are supporting this is because the mayor is supporting and donating Harlem's Children's Zone and so on.
That's right. And this is, and you know, I've heard this criticism. I'm glad you've asked me this question. I really am, because there are two things. So people say, doesn't the mayor give the Harlem Children's Zone money? And I would say, I hope he does. Right? I hope he thinks he's one of the most generous philanthropists out there. He supports great organizations. He does it anonymously. I hope we're one of the ones. We get some anonymous money. We got about 3 or 4 people. I hope one of them are the mayor. I don't see that as a conflict, and I'll tell you why. Mayor Dinkins, I served that mayor as hard as I could. I sat on his committees. When Mayor Dinkins lost, Mayor Giuliani, we were not friends. We were not friends. He asked me to co-chair his Children's Advisory Board for Child Welfare and help reform child welfare in New York. I served the whole 8 years for Mayor Giuliani. Governor Spitzer asked me to come to Albany, asked me to co-chair his Children's Advisory Board. I co-chaired the Children's Advisory Board. The Governor Patterson, the same deal. Every mayor or governor who has asked me, and including the president, if they ask me to serve, I will serve. And I'm unapologetic about that. I think my career in education, you know, back in the early 80s when the custodians controlled the schools and we were trying to get schools so that after-school programs could use it, I was involved in that effort. My sort of history in education advocacy goes way back. I actually think it's a fair question for people to ask, are you for sale? Right? Maybe this is just that the mayor bought you and that's why you're doing this. I think anyone who looks at my record can come to the conclusion that I care about this issue. I care about poor black kids. This accountability issue is number one. I said it to the president, and I've said it to the mayor, and I'll say it to anybody else. In the end, we have to hold educators accountable, and it has to be one person that we hold accountable.
Now, I'm going to come back to mayoral control in 1 second. You and I bumped into each other in Washington the other day at the inauguration. You were at Sharpton's event, and what I noticed, that you had the Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, there, the new Secretary of Education. You had a number of schools chancellors from around the country there and mayors. And I happened to walk backstage, and I saw almost all of them talking to you one at a time about education issues. Right. So the question is, President Obama as a candidate, said he was going to take what you have done with the Harlem's Children's Zone and take it national. Have you heard anything that they're any closer to doing that? Are they going to move ahead?
Well, you know, the last time I was on your show, Dominic, I said, you know, they've just gotten in, you know, I haven't heard. It's sort of radio silence. I have heard that they have every intention of doing promised neighborhoods. That's what they call it. The administration is serious. There was a reach out that said the president is really serious about this. He cares about poor people in this country, and that this is a way of getting at this issue of poverty. So I'm really excited about the opportunity that others will be able, I think, to learn from our experience here in New York City.
Now, even people that support mayoral control say, people that support it say parents have been shut out. What do you say to them?
Yeah, look, I think that there is probably a very legitimate concern when it comes to parents and mayoral control. How do parents get into the system to deal with issues that come up in a way that they feel respected, but also feel like their voices and their advice is being heard? And I think that the knock on what I've heard about mayoral control is that there are lots of parents who say, you know, I don't feel respected. This is what, and I've talked to a bunch of parents, both my own parents and other parents, and this is what I've heard. We want to make sure that we know where to go when we have a problem, that they are going to get back to us in a rapid way, and they're going to be able to deal with our problem and not send us somewhere else. I think that that is very legitimate as a concern, and part of what we're doing at Learn New York is that we're looking at these kinds of issues, and we hope to issue some recommendations around this area.
I only have a minute left. Has the mayor done a good enough job reaching out to parents?
I think that they can do a better job reaching out to parents. I really do. I think, you know what, the mayor, and this is interesting, they hired a large number of parent coordinators inside the schools because that was a commitment to parent. I think the process from that process to how parents have felt listened to and heard, not by the parent coordinators, but I think by the chancellor. I think we can do better with that. And I will certainly advise Joel and the mayor and what I hear from parents about how we can make the system better.
I conclude this way. Learn New York was expected to raise as much as $20 million, but according to the New York Times, you have less than $3 million. What happened?
Yeah, see, this is a great thing. When I became chair and founded, suddenly a story appeared that we were going to raise $20 million, and I looked at my staff and said, so you're holding out on me? What's the strategy around this? And that number just won't go away. There was never a budget that I have ever seen that had $20 million on it. We do need to raise more money than we have right now for the organizing, but it was never $20 million. It wasn't close to that.
Okay, Jeffrey Canada, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, Don.
You know education and you know it well. Thank you very much.